What's up, guys? Chaz Giovanni here, back with another episode. And this time we're talking about how to heal from a breakup. Now, this has been a pretty requested topic. I've had a lot of friends, ask me how do you recover from a breakup? Like how do you, get past it? What are the steps to take in order to recover from a breakup? Now, I have a little bit of notes here. I have quite a bit of notes actually, written down on my phone. So if you see me looking down, phone's right here, of course, you know what time it is. All right. So, first thing I'd like to discuss is removing any physical thing that could represent a soul tie, such as gifts, music, clothing, pictures, etc. The reason why this is so important is because whenever you have items from a previous relationship, a previous friendship, or whatever, it can remind you of those times that you spent with that person. It can have a lot of mental triggers, if you will, and that's important to remove out of your atmosphere, because the longer or the more that you have those items, the more memories you'll start to have, and the more times you'll start to have those triggers of people where you're wondering how they're doing, or it starts to make you think about them and like want to get in contact with them. That's what you don't want. You don't want to backtrack. You never want to go back to something that once hurt you. And even if it didn't necessarily hurt you, but you realized it wasn't where you needed to be, you realize that for a reason. You realize that you don't need to be in that type of environment or with that person or both. So take heed to that. Respect yourself enough to realize when it's time to bounce, when that relationship is not serving you anymore and it's not doing you any good and it's breaking you down, it's tearing you down, it's got you sad, it's got you depressed, it's got you feeling X, Y, and Z. Yeah, it's time to leave. It's time to move on to greener pastures. So, spending time with God. This is the next topic. So, spending time with God and allowing yourself to be more vulnerable with God. That looks like giving your burdens over to God. Tell God exactly what you're battling with, what you're struggling with, as well as your traumas. Now, this this is this is vital, and I'm gonna say that a lot throughout this podcast because these are, I feel like these are really strong, valid points that you can consider when you're overcoming any type of breakup, or if it's like a friendship that you're no longer um, entertaining. Say people grow apart, it happens, but spending time with God, God will never leave you. As long as you stay in Christ, God will never leave you. And just keep an open line of communication with God. Remember to say thank you for waking me up, because you didn't have to wake up this morning. And I'm gonna quote Two Chains on this one. He said, "If you woke up this morning, you winning." There's I ad libbed a little bit, but if you woke up this morning, you're in God's favor. He wants you to get it right. He wants you to take another chance to take that step to bettering yourself. Because there's a lot of people who didn't get a chance to wake up today. I just recently lost my great uncle, and I was a pallbearer at his funeral, and that was challenging for me because I had never been a pallbearer before, and I never really was one to. I mean, no one likes going to funerals, but I never really went to funerals, or I tried to avoid them for the simple fact that I knew that it's it's a tough time going to a funeral, especially like someone that you truly care for. And we can't live forever, and everything has a start date and an end date. And that kind of brings it back to, relationships. Sometimes things have a start and an end date. Well, most time, all the time. Things have a start and an end date. And, it could be a lifelong mission or it could be a season. People are in your lives for People are in your life for a reason or a season. I'm gonna just let that marinate for a second. People are in your life for a reason or for a season, or sometimes a lifetime. So, you know, cherish those who are actually there for the long haul. Cherish those people, give them their flowers while they're still here and they can still receive them, they can still smell them, and they can still enjoy them. Let's see. And going back to what I was saying earlier about sharing the things that you're battling with and you're struggling with God. Again, God knows exactly what you need. Cast your burdens onto God. Give your burdens to God and allow God to work things out for you. It can be very difficult, with somebody who likes to be in control of everything. Now, I won't say I'm necessarily a control freak, but the things that I can control, I like to be in control of. Not saying I'm a controlling person. I more so like to say, for instance, when it comes to artists, we can be sensitive about our stuff. Erica Badu said it. We could be very sensitive about our artwork. So, I like to, have full creative control, and not always is that the case because you're dealing with, other clients, people, whomever you might be working with that you have to collaborate with. And, you know, being able to be flexible and being able to be open to different ideas can also be beneficial when it comes to maintaining certain relationships. But we're more so talking about how to get over relationships that ended. So, excuse me, got a little off topic. It's okay. So, the next topic that I had is just basically cut all ties. You know, no form of communication should be had, revisited, no reconciliation, no closure. No closure. I'm going to say it again. No closure. Closure it's like the biggest myth ever. Like, you think that you need closure when you actually do not need closure. Closure is not something that is going to help you. Closure is something that is going to reopen the wound. It does the exact opposite of what it says that it's, trying to do. Closure, it's not closing anything. You're reopening that wound, you're reopening that door. That person is going to have the full ability to access you, contact you, communicate with you, disrupt your emotions, your thought process, your psyche. It's not good for your mental health. And it's hard. It can be hard to let go of that person, especially when you've had so much time and energy and emotions and feelings and thoughts and everything invested. It's a soul tie. You got to sever that soul tie somehow. You can't allow it to rule, dictate your life. You can't allow it to consume you. And in cutting all ties, you surround yourself with positive people who can uplift you. And also surround yourself with God. That's a must. But surround yourself with those who push you in the right direction. Surround yourself with those who will encourage you to say, hey, let's try something new. Let's try something different. Not the people who are going to encourage you to go, get a rebound or go smoke or go drink. That's only going to dig you further into a hole, but I'll get to that in just a second. So, when you're surrounding yourself with people that are positive, that are uplifting, they're going to understand because they too have been through things. We've all been through things as people. They're going to understand that healing is not linear. It's not I'm going to start at point A and at point B. No. You start at point A right over here, right? You think point B is going to be smooth sailing. No. You go from point A, here's point B now. You go, whoo, 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 whoo. No, no, So you think it's going to be a smooth process, and it can get messy. It can get really ugly, and that's normal. Like, healing is not linear. Sometimes you have moments where you might relapse, but you have those accountability partners, that strong support group that can help you to get out of those moments. And they can tell you when you acting a little crazy about thinking about contacting your ex or getting back with your ex, or maybe it can happen in the future. No. That's not what you want. Trust me, it's not what you want. Surrounding yourself with people that are going to uplift you, like I said, is vital. And healing, again, is not linear. It can get messy. So you want to make sure that you don't listen to any breakup music, as tempting as it is, as society says, as normal as society says that it is. It's not helpful. And I'll tell you why. So breakup music is designed to perpetuate that feeling, to make you feel justified in feeling that sad emotion, that hurt feeling that you're feeling, and a lot of everybody goes through, some type of sad emotion, or some type of breakup, or some type of, I guess, disunion between friends, family, whatever. There's always some type of, separation, because people grow, people change. And, not always, people don't always, people don't always agree on everything. That's not how life works. So when you have those negative feelings and those negative emotions from, the breakup, and you're listening to the music that is encouraging those really toxic feelings and emotions, it's going to have you thinking that, okay, I'm justified in, how I feel. I can wallow in my sorrows, and just, no. What you truly need, and as tempting as it may be to go to, your favorite artist with their favorite with their banger of a breakup song, which is sad to say that, sadness sells just like sex. There's a lot of sad undertones in music nowadays, but I talked about that in a previous episode. So I won't get too far into that. But when it comes to, uplifting your spirits, you want to find something that's happy, like something that's going to really push you and drive you to feel good. And, that breakup music might make you feel good in the moment, but it's really doing more damage than you realize, because that music, we're spiritual beings. So the music that you intake is going to penetrate your soul, and it's going to penetrate your psyche. So at random moments, you'll be feeling like, you might not even be listening to any music, but it'll just pop up in your head. And, some people call it earwig, some people call it different things, but, song is stuck in your head and you just can't get it out. And it'll end up being that breakup song that you were listening to. Then it'll kind of, recycle those feelings and emotions that you were dealing with, that you might have been battling with and you started to overcome, but that song likes to replay in your mind to kind of trigger, those negative thoughts. And then it kind of brings you back, and it has you backtracking and relapsing. So that's why it's good to feed your spirit, feed your mind, feed your soul with positive music that can uplift you and push you in the right direction. I'll give you an example about, the music that I listened to when I was dealing with a breakup. When I was dealing with a breakup that I was it was like a 5-year relationship or whatever. But yeah, so with that, I did not take it well. And I played a part in it for sure as to the reason why it happened. I'll admit that. I'll own up to that. But you know, I had a playlist of music. I had a playlist of songs, and I listen to Spotify. So my music app of choice is Spotify. I used to use Tidal. Don't really use Apple Music. The user interface never really appealed to me because I like iTunes or whatever, and I just never liked the interface. Spotify just seemed more up my alley. So going through different playlists on Spotify, and we started saving songs to my saved library. And for those who have Spotify, they know that Spotify learns your music taste. It will definitely pick up on what type of music you like, what type of music you listen to, even what you're going through. So you can only imagine that Spotify realized that I was going through a breakup, and it started recommending me breakup music. Then, towards the end of the year, it'll have a year recap. It decided to go and call a playlist the one that got away. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, and I showed it to my brother at the time, Jordan. He was like, man, oh. Because he was like, yeah, I guess Spotify's trying to tell you something. I'm like, yeah, no. Yes, and it was just a bit much. It was kind of surreal seeing that. The music apps, apps these days, like with AI and stuff, it's built to learn us and learn who we are and to keep us coming back for more. So, if they realize that you're going through a breakup, they want to feed that emotion. They want to feed that mood that you're going through because they want to keep you as a listener. So what does that do? It starts putting more breakup music into your system, and then you're starting to realize, man, I'm not getting any better. And then you'll be like me, you'll get to a situation or you'll get to a point in your healing process where that music doesn't even resonate with you anymore. Like, you have to start deleting songs, and then it goes back to songs that you have to remove from, your past because it reminds you of a certain someone. Those moments or those memories embedded in music are the reasons why, people want to hit up their ex. People want to go back because, they hear the music, it triggers a memory, it triggers that emotion. You're like, man, I wonder how they're doing. I wonder what if maybe we could, maybe it could. No, maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it should not. It should not be something that you consider. And I just had to realize that. I had to, just come to my senses at some point and start getting rid of the music. And my now wife was, she's my girlfriend at the time, but she was hearing some of the music as I was coming out of that phase. And I was actually pretty much out of the phase, but some of the music still lingered because I had over like 3,000, 4,000 some songs. And now I'm down to like 2,200 or something like that. But yeah, over half of the library was songs that no longer fit my lifestyle, no longer, they just weren't a soundtrack to the person the person that I've become now. And that's vital. Like, you have to have music that fits the type of person you are. I feel like that's important because, again, it goes back into what you feed your spirit. So, once I got out of that mindset, I had to go into a phase of rediscovery, which is our next topic. I had to rediscover who I am, who I was, and it it was challenging, especially like when you're younger. I'm still young, but I was like early 20s. Um, and this is like kind of like right around mid 20s too. So 25, 26 or whatever, 24 was like kind of around the time everything happened. So still trying to like figure out who I was, having a quarter life crisis as as I didn't realize that was a thing, but it is actually a thing. You have a midlife crisis and you have a quarter life crisis. So realizing that that was a thing, I didn't feel so bad, but at the same time, I had to come to grips that everything's gonna be okay. I still have a lot of time left on this earth, God willing. And I have a much bigger impact and a much bigger purpose to fulfill. Hence the reason why I'm here and why you guys are here watching this today. So, when you rediscover yourself, you find out who you are while in a single season, while you're in your single season. Explore new hobbies, try new things. If you've always thought about, for me, for instance, like for me, I always thought about aggressive inline, which is rollerblading, inline rollerblading. So I grew up a skateboarder, as you probably have already realized through previous videos. And I also talked about, my journey starting aggressive inline in another previous video when I was talking about Jet Set Radio Future. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And check out the game as well. The game is dope, but enough of that. So when I started, now, of course, aggressive inline, then it came way after, I was dealing with the breakup. I was completely past the breakup, but I'm just giving this as an example. Try something new. I wanted to get out and start hiking more. That's why I started Get Out and Explore. I really wanted to go see the North Georgia mountains because when, you live in Georgia, you see a lot of trees. You see a lot of, depending on where you are, you may not see a lot of mountain ranges. You may not see a lot of, waterfalls and stuff like that, but it's here. Surprisingly, we have mountains, waterfalls, even a canyon. So there's a lot of cool things in Georgia that, growing up, I didn't really know too much about. But the more I started finding lakes, waterfalls, parks, mountains, different walking trails, those types of things really piqued my interest because I love being outdoors. I love nature. So that could be something that you could look into. Just, maybe just get out, just clear your head. Don't be so confined to, your house, your room, the four walls, because that can drive you crazy after a while. Like you want to be able to give yourself a chance to breathe and just find something new. Do something different. Change it up, switch it up. And again, by any means, do not get a rebound. Rebounds Rebounds only turn into situationships, and situationships is just you aren't healed. Like you think that, oh, maybe I can replace the previous person with a new person. No, it's unfair to the new person because they're dealing with residue from a previous relationship that you chose not to fully heal from. You see how selfish that sounds? Like don't waste nobody's time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste nobody else's time. Again, I have done this, so I can talk about it. I can speak from experience on this one. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. So, you can change your daily routine, things that you used to do, while you were dating that person. It's going to be an adjustment. No one said it was going to be easy, but things in life worth having don't usually come easy. And, I'm living that right now. My testimony right now is, I'm grinding each and every single day for my business, my marriage. Ooh, let me refresh. So, God, my marriage, my business, household, the whole nine. So being a husband is brand new to me. Um, the wife and I have been going strong for 7 months, and I love every bit of it. There's moments where we have times where we just like, hey, I don't like you right now, but that's okay. Like, I still love my wife at the end of the day. Um, and like, it can be difficult, finding just new paths in life, or just finding or adjusting to new circumstances, but trust me, it's worth it in the long run once you put yourself outside of your comfort zone and go for something different. Go for something that you would never really imagine yourself doing, but let me just rephrase that. Something that you could see yourself doing, but you are too afraid to try. Just go for it, because you only have one chance at this thing called life. So why not go for it? But yeah, yeah. So starting something new is always a challenge. Things worth having don't come easy. Again, like I said, with this YouTube that I'm doing, you know, I don't only do this YouTube channel, I also do What the Freck with my wife. So that's our couple's YouTube channel. So that's, more things that I put on my plate, but it's also to not only because I want to be monetized, not only because I just want to be, I don't want to be famous. I do this because I truly have a heart to help and a heart to give. Like, I really enjoy helping people. And that's something I've always loved doing ever since I was a child. Like, I will always find myself giving advice and giving, help and guidance to people my age, which was so strange. And I remember one conversation that I had with somebody back in like high school, middle school, or whatever. She told me that I was just a very deep thinker, and I was just like, "What?" For me, it was normal, but I guess no. She said what I said was deep, so I guess I've always been a person who kind of thinks outside the box and was always kind of like wise beyond my years. But I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I just believe that God gave me this gift to share with others. So, next topic. Do not, and I repeat, do not run to alcohol, do not run to pills, do not run to any controlled substance, thinking that that is going to be your escape. It is going to confine you and is going to trap you. I've seen enough family members, deal with friends and family, and we see it all around. Like, people dealing with alcoholism, people dealing with drug abuse, people looking for a vice, people looking for an escape. And at the end of the day, these things really don't help you. They end up hindering you. They trap you because you go running to these things thinking that it's going to save you when it doesn't. It only it makes matters worse because you're not in a sober state of mind. So you're in that altered state of mind. So when you're in an altered state of mind, you allow the enemy to come in and have a field day with your life. When you're sober minded, yeah, the enemy will still try to attack you, but he doesn't have nearly as much power as he does when you're intoxicated, because you can talk to God and, combat the enemy a lot better when you're sober minded. It's important to stay sober. And, I'm not saying like I'm better than anybody. I've definitely had my fair share of drinks. I smoked weed, in my, younger life, but it's, to me, it's not worth it. And I don't think it's worth it for anybody else to have to, run to that, to feel an escape, to feel free, to feel at peace. You should be able to feel that within your sober life, within just your day-to-day life. You should be able to experience peace throughout your day. And if you can't, you have to find a healthy way to experience that, because that's the only way that you can really just allow yourself to decompress and allow yourself to, just feel happy. And you don't want to just keep running to like, let me go hit the blunt, let me go hit this bottle, let me go, nah. Because then, one, you're deteriorating your health. Two, and a lot of people will be in the comment section, oh, weed ain't bad, weed ain't this, weed ain't. Listen, I've heard it all. What you choose to do with your life is what you choose to do with your life. I'm only here to give advice. Take it how you want it. So, the next topic is you may be connected with your ex's friends or family, but you may have to slowly disconnect yourself from those people, because it's going to be harder in the healing process still maintaining that connection, because again, that is another door for that person to re-enter your life, and it's going to restart your healing process from ground zero. It's almost like all that work that you put in trying to get over this, or not get over this person, but get through the pain, is going to resurface in a incredibly nasty way. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, and it may be hard because you built a relationship with these people, but, like, say for instance, it's your ex's like parents and mom or dad or whatever, sister, brother, whatever. You gotta distance yourself and cut those ties, and if God, allows that friendship or that relationship to continue, don't continue that or maintain that relationship in hopes to get back with the person. If that relationship is maintained, let it only be because, is God centered, and, it's not allowing you to go back to that person, or allowing that door to be open, or allowing that person to keep tabs on you through the person that you're still connected to. So, something to think about. Also, remember to eat healthy. And I feel like this might be self-explanatory, but you got to remember to feed your body right. Like, you have to still stay active as hard as it may be. I found, like, when I was going through tough times growing up, I would work out. I would go run. I would go skateboard. I would go lift weights, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever. I would, push myself, and that adrenaline of getting stronger, that endorphin rush that I got from exercising or being active, it actually helped me feel better. It actually helped me channel that frustration into something positive. So I've also seen a YouTuber who that I watch. He actually said the same thing. Like, when he went through the loss of his father, and I think some other things that he went through in life as well, he started working out, and that's how he got buff. So that was me, and I want to get back to my buffness. I actually want to get bigger than I currently am. So that's something I'm working on too. So eating healthy is important, and just remember, what you consume is what you will become. So be sure to feed your spirit well also. And another topic I want to touch on is when people just say, get over it. Just get over it. It happened X amount of, just get over it. Like, it happened a few days ago. I mean, it happened last week. It happened last year. It happened 6 months ago. It happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you should be able to overcome it. But for somebody to tell you to get over it, that's really dismissing your pain, and your pain is valid. You shouldn't wallow in it. You shouldn't succumb to it, but you're entitled to feel how you feel. Like, those are your emotions. But at the same time, don't allow somebody to tell you to get over it. You find a way to work through it. You overcome it. Don't just focus on getting over it, because getting over it is you'll end up suppressing it, and then you'll wonder why the stuff is starting to resurface months, years, weeks, months, years down the road, and you're like, why am I dealing with this? And it might even come out in a new relationship, and that's what you don't want. So take time to heal. Again, healing is not linear, it is a process. And people expect, this microwave healing, like they expect microwave success. No, healing, just like success, is something that, like my wife said in our What the Freight video, it's slow cooker based. It's something that you have to work at. It takes time to heal. It takes time to achieve great things. Great things don't happen overnight. Neither does healing. So keep that in mind. All right. So I'm checking the time. Make sure we good on time. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. So addressing your current mental and emotional state in the moment of, what you're going through, like the breakup, is important. Check your heart. Be sure to check how you are, because check yourself, because you don't want to bleed on someone else. And what I mean by that is you don't want what you're going through to trickle down to somebody else. You don't want to affect somebody else's day because you're having a crappy day. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. For real. Like there's enough crazy things in life going on, and we don't need a lot of, people's attitudes being thrown around just because they're having a bad day and they want to make somebody else feel bad. Hurt people. So it's okay to hurt, but don't hurt other people because you're hurting. Like, what? No. And revenge is not worth it. Revenge is definitely not worth it. Like, you may feel like you want to get back at that person for hurting you, but the best way to get back at people is through kindness. Kill them with kindness. Kill people with kindness. And that's what the Bible says. You want to make sure that you are kind in all your ways, and also, just treat people with respect. And, beautiful things will start to happen as you do so. All right. So we're just about done. I know this is a longer than normal video, but I feel like it's important to talk about this because, it's necessary, and I don't think it gets talked about a lot. And a lot of people are struggling with breakups and dealing with depression and, suicide because of, a relationship ending. But, relationship ending doesn't mean the end of your life. A relationship ending means a new chapter in your life, a new season in your life. God probably brought that to an end to get you to refocus your life, refocus on your purpose in life. And, refocusing is good. Sometimes because you don't want to go through life looking through or viewing life through a broken lens. My wife told me that, like, and it made so much sense with me being a photographer and a filmmaker. Like, you don't want to look through life through a broken lens. Image is going to be trash. So, one thing that you can do in order to ensure that you're not looking at life through a broken lens is set your atmosphere right at home. Circling back to the music topic, it's imperative to have a clean, holy, and safe atmosphere while you're at home. Ever feel alone after a breakup? Most people do. We all do. Play some soaking music and allow God to comfort you. Now, soaking music, you can look this up on YouTube, just Christian soaking music, or just type in soaking music and you'll basically come upon a instrumental that's very soothing. It's very peaceful. It's very euphoric, if you will. and it evokes the presence of the Holy Ghost. It evokes the presence of God. So it allows you to feel God's peace, and it allows you to feel whatever you're feeling, whatever like pain or frustration or anxiety that you're feeling, sadness, depression, or whatever, it'll start to melt away. So it also helps if you may listen to soaking music in the shower, or just make sure you have some time alone to yourself to just take in the music and just be in the atmosphere and feel the peace just start to overcome you. It's a nice feeling. I actually did it this morning when I was writing the notes for this video, which is why I feel like these came out so well. Because I don't usually script videos when it comes to, hey, hope this helps. I have topics in mind that I want to talk about, and I actually just go for it. But I feel like this is way more structured, and I'm able to get out more information and stay on topic, because that's important to me, staying on topic and not rambling on. But yes, you'll experience a peace that's only truly felt in the presence of God. So, soaking music. Look that up. And we did touch on a lot of topics today, so I want you guys to do something for me. Comment in the comment section below which topic spoke to you the most. Put that down in the comment section below. Like, what do you feel like impacted you the most? What do you feel like you got the most out of from this video? Comment how you successfully overcame a breakup. Tell me your story. You can tell me, you can paraphrase it. I'll read the comments. If you want to put the whole thing in there, that's fine. I'll read it. I don't know how long comments can be on YouTube, but I'll check it out. If you're still working through it, or even in the beginning stages, check back with me after some time has passed and let me know how your success story went. Because I feel like it's important for us to not only heal, but become better versions of ourselves. So, success is measured differently by each and every person, but I feel like overcoming a sad mental state and overcoming a depressed mental state, or even a suicidal mental state, is something to celebrate. So celebrate yourself. You earned it. You deserve it. It's okay to celebrate yourself, So yeah, if you're working through something in life, which we all are, it helps tremendously to just give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace, because God gives us grace. Give yourself some, be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to process emotions. It's healthy to process emotions as long as you do it in a healthy way. And I gave you some of those ways to stay healthy. I'm not a life coach, but I feel like it can help. So, and let's see here. God helped me write this script. I know I said I wrote the script, but God definitely gave me the blueprint to it. Gave me the details that I needed to share with you all. And, I thank God each and every day that I wake up for waking me up and blessing me with these talents and these abilities. So, glory to God for that, for sure. God wants to heal us. I want you to heal. Man, I don't want you to have to be dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with currently. Nobody wants that. I want to see you healed. I want to see you happy. I want to see you with a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? If I've run into you in person, I want to see you happy. And if I ain't happy, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to find a reason to be happy. I'm going to find something to laugh at. I'm going to make myself happy. Because life's too short to just be walking around in anger, man. It's not worth it. So, you're already watching this video, you're taking the steps to heal because you already know that you have to heal from something. So congrats to you. Kudos to you for taking that step. It's a big step. Proud of you. I'm proud of you. If no one's told you, I'm proud of you for that, for sure. Um, and recognizing that you have a problem is half the battle. So, knowing is half the battle. Now go on, focus on your healing process. You got this. I believe in you. God believes in you. You have everything in you to be great. Don't focus on what the next man has. Don't focus on what they're doing. Focus on yourself. Because ain't nobody else out here like you. Remember that. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hey, hope this helps. And again, I hope this has helped you overcome. I hope this has helped you gain some insight, gain some wisdom. With the wisdom and knowledge that I had, I share with you. So just remember to live a life of abundance. Love you guys. CG signing out. Peace.